Meet Blake Edwards' most enduring movie icon to date, from an oeuvre that includes clues of Leslie and Fate. And while he had a tin ear when it came to ethnicity, it's the 60s, so relax and watch Breakfast at Tiffany's. Exit in a cab with some coffee and pastry too, as the trains of Moon River off the length of 5th Avenue. Holly's date from last night thinks he's a pretty good time and makes the case that he's entitled to payment in kind. Harassing Holly upstairs, they make it to the next flight, where they meet a racist Japanese stereotype, played as a buffoon, cartoonish figure of fun, ironic in the extreme, coming from an American. And only 15 years, if we're gonna be frank, since the Yanks put its agents in internment camp. Resolving not to be racist, she'll atone for this strife as an ambassador for UNICEF later in life. That Mr. Yoshi bigoted shit on our screens, you know who else it pissed off? A movie-going Bruce Lee. Although Hollywood dealt with that problem their own way, a magic Jewish demon if you listen to Kanye. There's a ring at the door, a man who looks like a daydream, George Peppard himself, Hannibal from the A-Team. Holly meet Paul, he's in need of a phone as they talk about the dream of Sunday feeling at home. Charmed at an arm's length, Holly's not letting him in, and she heads off to the thug she's paid to visit and sing to. While avoiding the date, much later that night, we spy Paul's decorator slipping him some money goodbye. Turns out he's a writer who's down on his luck, and half a decade's passed since he last published a book. Holly understands the song's a similar tune men give for $50 to go and visit the bathroom. Capote's keen to point out she's not working the streets or turning tricks to get paid, she's a modern day geisha who's trying to save some cash. Her brothers in the armed forces, they want to move to Mexico and raise a couple of horses. A party Paul meets all Holly's guests who have made it, from a socialite friends to a Hollywood agent who saw a potential, grabbed a hold and then jumped and go like he got talent if he could polish that bumpkin. It's quite the event, an eccentric convention, but two of the guests have caught Holly's attention. There's the wealthy Jose on a trip to the city, and the 9th richest man in the States under 50. Firmly now friends are quite comfortable with him, they go upstate on a date to meet her uncle in prison. A strictly cash arrangement altogether, not tax, carrying coded reports from a boss to his drugs ring. Paul's quite perturbed, not ready or willing to accept a stranger suddenly surveilling their building. Leading him a chase, we're all in for a sudden shock and surprise as we meet Holly's husband. Her real name's Lula May, ain't the body expected. She got hitched at 13, it's time to move back to Texas. This child subjugation feels decidedly queasy, but the pair reunite completely happy and breezy. By happily united with her husband again, I mean written and adapted and directed by men, making all sorts of threats. Her husband thinks he's indebted. She backs him onto a bus and waves goodbye to her predator. Holly drunkenly commits to be financially thrifty, her remit with the 9th richest man under 50. But when his fortune falls foul of his unguarded largesse, the super rat dumps Holly for a wealthy heiress. Holly's gaze turns to the Brazilian Jose, he's got the wealth, looks and charm and political sway. But when Holly gets pinched for being Uncle Sally's runner, he does what politicians do and kicks her straight to the gutter. Insisting she goes to Brazil anyway, Holly jumps in a cab and leaves the cat in the rain. Paul storms off, he thinks the plan is baloney. It's more brave to be real than be real as a phony. Well, why the fuck not? Our minds changed in a second as Holly, Paul and Cat become a force to be reckoned. Personally, I hope to be together forever, and so does Hannibal. He loves it when a plan comes together.